Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam and welcome back to my mini-series where I'm reviewing every Naked Gun movie in retrospective honor of the Naked Gun movie with Liam Neeson in it. I've already covered Naked Gun 1 and 2, or well, 2.5. Those reviews will be linked in the eye in the right-hand corner. But now it is time to take a look at the final Naked Gun movie starring Leslie Nielsen, The Naked Gun 33 and a Third, The Final Insult.
Have you seen my pigeon?
Naked Gun 33 and a third. The Final Insult.
This was released in 1994. It was directed by Peter Segal instead of David Zucker, and it sees the return of Leslie Nielsen, O.J. Simpson, George Kennedy, and Priscilla Presley, and celebrities. A lot of celebrities, but we'll get to that. Lieutenant Drebin is Lieutenant Drebin no more. He has retired, he has settled into married life, and is really bored. But he has one more mission left to take care of as he is recruited by the police squad once again to take out an armed bomber, played by Fred Ward, by the name of Rocco Dillon, who is looking to bomb the US by starting off at the Academy Awards. This is, like I said, the last Naked Gun movie with Leslie Nielsen in it, and the last to have any involvement from Zucker, and Abrams. So in a lot of ways, this movie is the end of an era. And this was not received all that positively. It was mixed at best. It was pretty much seen as like a just quit while you're ahead before this parody becomes a parody. And while I can safely say that the movie is enjoyable, it is the weakest of the main original trilogy, by like a lot. Leslie Nielsen is still predictably great. He has a great rapport with George Kennedy, O.J. Simpson, and Priscilla Presley, and the main cast. I think that rapport just never truly went away, and I do appreciate that. This honestly has my favorite intro of this entire series, in which the whole big thing is a dream sequence that parodies that famous train scene in The Untouchables. I'm sure you know the scene I'm talking about, but that scene is just great, and it low-key kind of peaks there. The rest of the movie devolves into wasted potential and or parodies of other stuff. And celebrities. Lots of celebrities. On the wasted potential front, the movie starts out with Drebin living in suburbia and basically doing the whole Mr. Mom thing, even though he's not a dad yet. But he's staying at home retired while his wife works. And I think there could have been some comedy there, like have him operate and work in suburbia and, you know, do stuff like that in his Drebin way and have it all just mess up one thing after another. I feel like you could have done something with that. He even goes undercover in a prison. I feel like you could have done something with that. There's some Shawshank parodies, I think, but the movies came out the same year, so it's hard to say like if it was a direct parody or if it wasn't because they did come out the same year. I'm not sure. And then the ending happens at the Academy Awards, which that is fun, but I feel like the movie's just too busy. I feel like if they chose just one thing, the suburbia, the prison, or the Academy Awards, keep it contained to one of those things, it would have been a lot better. This movie also shows what a lot of Leslie Nielsen's other movies would basically turn into, where it's a parody, but then there are parodies within the parody, like parodying other movies in order to play into a theme of some kind. And here, not only is there a parody of The Untouchables, but there is a pretty much a there's pretty much a blatant ripoff of Thelma and Louise. And I have not seen that movie, but even I know what Thelma and Louise look like. And like, this is a pretty much Thelma and Louise, but play up for laughs. And then there's the titular awards ceremony where it is stuffed to the gills with every celebrity, no matter how big or small, that they could get into this film. Now, I won't be able to name everybody that was in here. I'll put a list here. But basically, it started like that trend that I see like in like like I'll say Happy Gilmore 2, for example, because I watched that on the channel for a watch party. That movie was awful. And it basically had everybody that either Adam Sandler or Benny Safdie or both knew as like a, hey, come be in our movie, why not? This felt a lot like that. It was like a, here, come be in our movie, why not?
All the stars
You really keep up with all that
are
stuff.
here tonight. Oh, yes.
Now, it made a little more sense in this movie because it takes place at the Academy Awards, so there will be a lot of movie stars there. And pretty much like you gotta have Weird Al in every single one of these movies. You just have to. But some of them I was just like, really? You got them? Like, seriously? It was more focused on flexing, hey, this is who we know, rather than actually being funny. And it wasn't fun. There's still enough in this movie that actually did make me laugh. So at the end of the day, I am going to give this a good rating. It's the weakest of the main trilogy, but it still made me laugh quite heartily on more than one occasion. Nordberg was in pain, so they understood the assignment on that front. At the end of the day, easily the weakest of the main trilogy, but it's still fun. Off to all of you, what did you think of The Naked Gun 33 and a third? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to read what you have to say. And I'll be rounding off this little mini series by finally talking about The Naked Gun with Liam Neeson. But stay tuned for that. My name is Ryan Cam, and I'll see you in the next one.